baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey, party people, it's The Brink of Sanity, episode 263. I am Jay, and with me is Mark.
Hey, do I have to? Could you just say with me is Mark and Bry?
Okay,
Or
and Bry.
Do we have to say like,
Yeah, don't
hey,
talk
I'm really
about this.
here?
You should get like catchphrases.
Oh yeah, we talked about the catchphrase.
Mark could be like, how rude, and Bry could be like, cut it out.
Hey, party people.
I'm Mark, hanging with my little ants.
And I'm Bry. I poop without a shirt.
I still can't believe that's true. Oh my god, I have a quick embarrassing story to tell.
All right.
Yeah, why not? We have a ton of questions for the. This is going to be our mailbag show, and we have but we're going to talk for like 10 minutes before we go into the questions.
Oh, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, 2017, January 1st. We are 1 for 1 with producing episodes with days of the year.
That's right.
We will not keep that streak alive tomorrow.
It's like Power Hour. We're going to do one every day.
Yes, streak will end tomorrow.
Just like Power Hour, we'll do one and then never do it again.
So let me ask you guys: do you guys groom? Do you guys like keep your pubes groomed at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, how are you religious about it? How do you do it?
No, I don't know. When it starts annoying me, then I...
Yeah, when
trim
I
the
look
hedges.
down and I'm like, ugh. Then
Yeah.
it's time to get the buzzer out.
Once I'm disgusted with myself.
I'm always disgusting with myself. Do you like use a what do you use, a scissor? Do you use a razor?
Buzzer.
Buzz it clean?
Pretty much.
Does your girl like that? Does she care about it? Does she comment on it?
I've received 0 comments on it.
Yeah, I don't think she... Yeah. I use a buzzer for, like, the non-sensitive parts, and then I have a razor I use for the sensitive parts, but I've
Wait,
never got
what?
any...
You use the razor for the sensitive parts? Oh, you mean like Okay.
for,
Would
like,
the buzzer?
my balls.
Would the buzzer be better for your balls?
Well...
No.
I got a shaky hand, so I don't want to... Yeah, the buzzer kind of can be a little sharper than the razor.
Okay.
I did
so,
the buzzer there once, and I will never do that again.
Yeah.
So the
Slipped
reason
a
I'm
little bit, and it's just like, ouch.
the reason I'm starting the show with making our fans throw up is so I use the scissor. I don't groom completely. I don't use a razor or whatever, but I use a scissor. And a couple nights ago, I was like, blah down there. So I went and kind of like did the cut it, but I was in the kids' bathroom, but I flushed everything, blah blah blah. Morning happens. I'm kind of like, the kids are up. My wife gets out of bed with them. I don't get out of bed right away, and I hear my son runs into my.
Your son doesn't come in with a pube mustache, does he?
No, but he runs.
Okay.
He's like, Mommy, why is there hairs all over our toilet? I was like, oh shit. Why is there hair? There's hair everywhere. You have to see, Mommy. And she's like, I don't know. She's like, he's like, hair everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck how did I miss? They were all over like they were on the bowl, but not on the the part were flushed. Anyway, I was like, oh great. My son's like asking about my pubic hair.
You're supposed to do it in
Wonderful.
the shower, not over the toilet.
Well, I do it over the toilet. I didn't know. Is there a bit? Why do you do it in this? Well, you shave, so maybe that makes more sense. I was using a scissor, so I thought the toilet made more sense.
No, because then you get it all over the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what you got to do is just take a piece of toilet paper and then just like run it across the rim, and you clean up the rim.
Nope.
Yeah,
then it'll
or
be
I
on
could
the-
just turn the shower on and the water goes right down
Yeah.
there.
It'll also be on the floor in front of the toilet,
Yeah.
which your son will probably find tomorrow.
He'll probably slip on it.
Mom, there's a little hair stuck all over my little toes.
Why is there hair always by our toilet? What the hell's wrong with that? On a related note, right before the show, I was mentioning to Jay and Bri that I saw over New Year's Eve. We're at a friend's place. We watched Frozen because we partied like no other.
And I said you were insane to introducing that to your kids.
My daughter was
I
already
can't believe you haven't done it already. But
Yeah, my daughter's obsessed with it. she's like 2 years and 10 months. She's almost 3. So she's already obsessed with it. So, and she's seen parts of it. Anyway, she was already obsessed with it. But the question I asked, though, and Jay and Bri, for some goddamn reason, they'd also seen the movie. They don't have kids. I think you guys are like training to be pedophiles. But what do you think the top? What's your top 3 or top 5 Disney movies of all time? And Disney cartoon movies.
Probably
What's the number? Let's start with number 1.
The Little Mermaid.
Aladdin.
Yeah, I go Aladdin. Yeah, I think Aladdin's the. I totally agree with you on Aladdin. And Little Mermaid's close. I put Little Mermaid number 2.
I don't think I've seen all of The Little Mermaid. And I don't mean that in a sexual manner. I mean, I don't think I've seen the whole movie.
I would like it better if we got to see all of the Little Mermaid.
There are websites that.
Yes, I'm aware.
All right, I am not aware. Are there websites that
Yeah.
is it in cartoon form where
Yeah.
she's naked or
Yeah, they do that for everything, like Family Guy porn, Simpsons porn. Like,
Yeah.
there's people who actually do this.
What do you do for a living? Well, like the Frozen. Oh, you produce Frozen? I do a pornographic version online.
You've never been on a porn site and like on the on the side where they have ads, you see like cartoon.
I've seen like Simpson porn. I've seen a couple other things, and I guess I've never seen a Little Mermaid one, but I guess I could have assumed there was.
It's
Little Mermaid.
literally for everything.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I have, but that's I have to say this probably. What do you do for a living? Oh, I have a van and girls bang in the back of it. I have a mansion.
I just Googled Disney animated movies, and I think I've seen about 4 of them so far. And like I hit 3. There's a whole screen, and then you hit arrow to the right, and another screen comes up. And I think I've seen 4 of them.
There's so many. I wouldn't even put Frozen in like my top 10.
It was like a friend of a friend who we were out one night, and my friend she's like so and so over there. She was on Bang Bus.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that online, Bang Bus?
I know,
And
yeah.
we were like, afterwards we were like, holy shit, she was on like this. We have not met anyone like person talking to who was actually in a porn, and we were or whatever that is, and I just thought it was funny. Have you actually talked to anyone that's actually been in porn?
Well, Andrew said he stumbled across Brink of Sanity porn parody.
I can only imagine what that is.
It's hot. Okay, going back to related to porn. Who's number 2 on your list?
I'm looking at this list, and I'm going to say something right now that's very embarrassing, but I've never seen The Lion King.
I saw it, but it wasn't one. I know everyone goes nuts over it. It wasn't one of my favorites.
I like Lion King. I'd put it 3 on the list.
All right, Dumbo, Pinocchio, I saw. Jungle Book, I saw. Mulan, I never saw. Peter Pan, I saw. Bambi, I saw.
A bunch of those old ones, I don't think they're that great, and the newer ones, a lot of the new ones I haven't seen.
Well, for
How could they have a Disney movie called The Aristocrats? Isn't The Aristocrats like
it's the Aristocats.
Oh yeah, it is. Shit. Because it ain't The Aristocrats. I know that's a comedy movie, a dirty comedy movie.
I really liked Hercules.
I didn't see Hercules.
I've never seen Pocahontas. I never saw The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Did
I
you
never
ever
saw The Great Mouse Detective.
Did you ever see Pink Floyd, The Wall?
No, I've never seen that.
There's. Have you seen it, Mark?
No, I actually haven't. That's a Disney movie?
No, there's insane, messed up animated parts in The Wall, and they let that guy animate Hercules.
Can I put Who Framed Roger Rabbit in there? I like that movie.
Oh, is that a Disney? Well, it's assuming that's if you put that in there, I put that number 1. That's my favorite.
Meet the Robinsons, I never saw. Atlantis, I never saw. The Three Calaberos, I never saw.
I saw that
Adventures
one.
of Something, I never saw. Melody Time, I never saw. Fantasia, I never saw.
You never saw Fantasia?
Oh no, Fantasia 2000, I never saw. Fun and Fancy Free, Make Music Mine, Saludos Amigos, Merry Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
You never saw Winnie the Pooh?
The Goofy Movie, Song of the South, Reluctant Dragon, DuckTales.
Song of the South is racist.
Dinosaur, James and the Giant Peach. I never saw any of these.
Well, now you have a lot to do for the next week.
Yeah. Well, I guess I got to have kids to see these movies.
Well, I also feel like most of those movies you would not see unless you saw them when you were a kid or if you
Yeah,
have
I mean,
kids.
all the movies I saw when I was a kid, yeah. I saw Snow White. I saw Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella,
Dumbo, Bambi,
Dumbo, Pinocchio, Bambi,
Robin Hood.
Peter Pan, Robin Hood. I never saw the Princess and the Frog. But anything after like 2000, I never saw Princess and the Frog.
What's out recently?
The Emperor's New
Lilo
Groove.
and Stitch. I never saw that.
The Emperor's New Groove was good.
But like, are you gonna be like, oh, what are you doing this weekend at work? And like, I'm gonna go see Lilo and Stitch. You'll be like, really?
I saw that.
Is
Oh,
Up a Disney-
you're bringing your kids? Nope, don't got kids.
Is Up
That's
a
what I
Disney
do.
movie? Because that's number one.
What movie?
Up? I don't think that's Disney, but that's a really good one also.
I fucking love that movie.
That is, I believe, Pixar.
Oh, it is? That's one of two movies that make me cry.
Did you cry in like the first like 5 minutes of the movie?
No, I don't cry at that part.
Okay.
I cry later.
Up and Wall-E were both very sad. Those are Pixar's.
I don't think I saw all of
I
WALL-E.
saw half of WALL-E and I got
Which one
kinda
was
bored.
Wally? What was he?
It's the robot, and the Earth gets like covered in garbage, and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
humans go up to space.
No, I never saw the whole thing. I've seen bits and pieces of a lot of these, but
There's this new app. You guys heard of the app Musically?
no.
No.
It's like one of the fastest, most downloaded apps ever. Apparently,
I've heard of the Brink of Sanity app. Is that the same thing? Or?
it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
It's this app where you basically make music, like little music videos. You can pick all from popular music, and then you shoot it, and you can shoot it in like extra slow, extra fast. And people post lots of like videos.
People still
on it.
make music videos? Wait a minute.
They're like 30-second videos.
Oh.
But it's not you. You're not singing. They have the music, and you're doing
Oh.
things to the music. People lip sync a lot to the music, and like
It's like Snapchat meets MTV.
It's like Mariah Carey's career.
yeah, it's kind of like it's like
Was she naked out there? I saw a clip of it. I didn't think she was wearing any clothes.
It was like a almost like skin color.
She
thing.
should have just popped her titties out and walked off the stage.
I mean,
What
she
I know
happened
she
with
walked
Mariah-
off the stage, but she should have popped her titties out first.
she pretty much said thanks for the money and walked off stage.
Oh.
I mean, she literally didn't. Did you watch the clip?
I saw a clip, but I didn't see the clip where she walks off.
She
what the hell happened?
basically she was supposed to lip sync something. I think her earpiece wasn't working. So instead of doing what a normal human being would do and taking the
sing.
earpiece out and listening to what's going through the speakers and lip syncing, she just started talking. She's like, yeah, this song's number one.
Yeah, I saw her talking over the music, and then I was like, what the fuck?
She's like, why don't you guys sing it? And then she's like, well, I tried. And then the next song comes on, and it seems like it's working. She's lip syncing it. But after the first chorus, she just stops lip syncing and puts the mic by her hip and like just starts walking around again.
I'm just looking at a picture from last night. Shouldn't her outfit not come in her size? Like,
I mean, she really looked skimpy.
no, but she doesn't look like she's not thin enough to wear that outfit.
No, she's I don't know. She's a thick woman.
I mean, she's clearly
A
too
huge
thick.
bitch.
Yeah, she's clearly a huge
My
bitch. for that
favorite line
costume.
from Deuce Bigelow, and they keep yelling that. She's a huge bitch.
That outfit looks like horrible on her.
Mm.
I didn't
It
mind
was-
it.
Anyway, okay, so this app basically, anyway, it's kind of a cool like you make music videos. And there's like people have like millions of views a day on this site.
So
I don't
did
know how
you make a music video out of Up? Is that where this is going? Or
Oh, I was making with I was trying to get my kids into it. My kids were not even that into it. I was like, this would be fun, and like I made these cool videos, and they're not even that into it. But then I was Googling to find out more about the app, and the first thing I found was an article about how like this app is now like this guy they were talking about how like pedophiles use this app to like get the kids.
Basically, pedophiles use every app.
I
and
think almost every app can be used by a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I
too.
think pedophiles invented smartphones.
What did they say in the art? It was basically you can message anyone on the site, and so someone was saying they were saying how they would pose as like this guy was saying like my 8-year-old daughter received these messages, and the messages were from an 8-year-old boy, but the messages were kind of weird. They were like, "Wow, I can't believe you're single. You're so hot."
I do have
Like,
to
I don't
give,
think that's an 8-year-old boy.
I do have to give pedophiles credit. They're very creative.
I still, every time I think about pedophile stuff, I just think of Louis C.K. on SNL and how fucking funny that was. and how
What was-
everybody got so bent out of shape about it.
What do you say about pedophiles? I don't remember.
Jay, you remember it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He said something like about basically like he was making like an equivalency to like something that he was doing, and he's like to a pedophile, fucking a kid has to be like the greatest thing because they know they're gonna get caught, they know they're gonna get jail, they're gonna get shamed for it, but they still want to do it. Like it's got to be that like addicting and thrilling for them or something like that.
Well, I guess like if people got mad about that. I assume.
Of
Yeah,
course.
they did.
I mean, but I guess like if they outlawed Bri, you having sex with a woman.
He was basically making it. He was
Yeah.
making a joke that it's an addiction and not like a hey, it's Friday night, I'm gonna go fuck a kid. Like I'm sick in the head and I want to like whatever I do, nothing is gonna be as good as trying to fuck this kid with my in my van.
Well, does anyone not get this? Does anyone think like, oh, I just thought like regular people are like, ooh, this would be fun.
Yeah, it's like being gay. It's a choice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's
You know
got
how
to be.
people are.
It's got to be weird. I mean, I assume like to be a pedophile, you're someone that has a strong attraction to kids that we just don't have. It's not like you're making a choice. Like they're not making a choice. They have this attraction no matter what.
The weird thing about pedophiles is they're always gay. You
Not
never
always.
hear any. Well, I mean, most pedophile stories you'll hear is like a guy fucking a little boy. Like they never fuck a little girl.
I think I'm sure there's like some straight pedophiles out there also.
I mean,
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
done the research, but
I don't want to be in jail, so I can't do the research.
no, yeah, I mean,
But you, what would be worse? What would you rather? Would you rather be this like in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, or have a strong addiction to a strong attraction to 8-year-olds?
what kind of wheelchair are we talking? Like, am I paralyzed, or I just like my legs? I don't have any legs.
You're not tired. You can't walk.
No,
You're
like,
I think
like, am I
he's
paralyzed, or like, did I get my legs amputated, or
Like,
I'll
does
give-
his dick work?
like
yeah.
I'd rather be dead than paralyzed.
You'd rather be dead than. But what if you're paralyzed just from the waist down?
I'd rather be dead.
What if you're just paralyzed from the knee down?
Both knees. I could just chop my legs off. Probably get some.
Okay.
Print some new legs.
Okay. Would you rather be missing an arm or have a strong attraction to like 5-year-old boys or girls?
Probably the arm.
Yeah. What about I'd rather be in a wheelchair than have to have that strong. That has to be so goddamn awful.
It's got to be awful, but I don't know. Like you could not act on it, whereas you can't ignore a missing arm.
But it's got to be really hard not to act at that. Like Jay, if you had a strong attraction to little boys, let's just say pretend you have that attraction. What would you do? How would you live your life?
Probably like I do now. I have an attraction to really hot women, and I don't have sex with them all the time.
I don't just rape them in the park like everyone else does.
Right.
Yes, it's just like me looking at supermodels, me looking at young boys. That does make sense.
That's a valid point. Yeah, that is a good analogy.
Yeah. Jay has solved the. Jay, you should give talks, lectures to pedophile communities.
TED Talks. Jay talks about pedophiles.
Like if you're a pedophile, like your punishment as a pedophile should be like you have to go to like Victoria's Secret like supermodel shows and just sit there and look at hot girls.
There was the. Did you guys watch Shameless?
No.
I don't. Is that a good show? Is that worth watching?
It's pretty solid. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's a fun show.
So I was just talking about it to somebody, and I don't know if I want to watch it or not.
It's good enough. It's not like a great show. You're not going there to go watch this amazing show, but like it's really entertaining.
It seems like it's been on forever.
It's been on for a while.
It's on like season 7 or something.
So one of the seasons, this guy, the character, like Frank, the father, is pretending to be gay. To like for some reason, I forget what the reason he's pretending to be gay. And they take him to a conversion therapy, and they want to like to have him like they're like, we're gonna have you fuck all these hot girls, all these women to like trick like to convert you. And he's like, sounds good. It was just funny. But yeah, I guess so Jay will be doing TED Talks now on the pedophilia to solve that problem. Listen, I don't just because she's a supermodel, I'd love to like nail her. I'm not going to go rape her. You should do the same thing with young boys.
It's easy.
And then Jay one day,
You just need a hobby to distract yourself. That's
Jay
all.
gets a lot of fame from doing the TED Talks, and like a supermodel actually like fucks him, and he's like, "Okay, you have the young boys, go for it."
Yeah, I was wrong. It was totally worth it. Okay, you
what
want to get to questions?
Sure, we have a lot of questions. So one more quick little thing.
Yeah.
When you go out to like a restaurant, like a nicer restaurant, have you noticed that you can't like? Do you understand everything on the menu?
No.
No.
I mean, I always find like if the nicer the restaurant, the less I understand on the menu. And I ordered something. We were out to dinner with some friends, and I ordered something, and the word, it was like something blah 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 tangine, and I was like, I knew what all the other words meant. Didn't know what that word tangine meant. It came out, and I was like, what the fuck did I order? And someone else at the table had also ordered it, and they were like, yeah, tangines don't usually look like this. And I was like, how the fuck did she know what that meant?
I did that once. I was at a restaurant and I ordered like a steak and it had like all the and I said to the waitress flat out, I said, I don't know what any of this means, but I just want a steak and I don't want anything on it. Like whatever any of this is, just scrape it and put it on the side because I probably won't like it.
Why can't they just make it so you can understand it?
I feel like if they use words that the common person doesn't understand, they could charge an extra $20 for the meal.
Yeah.
Like every description has to be like 100 words. It's like, no, just like steak and potatoes. I need 3 words, steak and potatoes.
Yeah. Why do you need to put something on steak? Just put it on the fucking side.
Right, maybe your meat's not that good if you need to smother it and stuff.
Yeah. Like I don't know what any of that shit means. Just fucking like at my Christmas party, we went to this real fancy restaurant, and we had hors d'oeuvres for like 2 hours, and every time they came around, we were in this little room, and we had these 2 waitresses, and for an hour and a half, they just kept coming with like plates of hors d'oeuvres and hors d'oeuvres. And she's like, "You want this?" I go, "What is it?" She goes, "It's." I said, "No. What is it?" And she's like, "Well, it's." I go, "What is that? And what's on top of it?" And she's like, "Well, it's a meatball within it." And I was like, "No, that's fine. I don't want it. Thank you." And then she came back with like a shrimp that looked. It didn't even look like a shrimp. It looked like a chicken finger. And I go, "What is that?" And she goes, "Oh, it's some kind of." It was like Japanese style shrimp and there was 2 sauces. And she goes, "You got to take this." And I go, "There's shrimp cocktail over there. I can eat that." And she's like, "Just try it." And I'm like, I took like 2 bites of it, and I go, "I don't like it." She goes, "We got to try the sauce." And I tried the sauce, and I was like, "I don't like the sauce. The sauce isn't helping. The sauce is not supposed to make me like something I don't like. It's supposed to make something I like better."
You sound like a real treat to be at that party with.
Well, that's why I don't like fancy drinks. But in her defense, when I was drinking Captain and Coke when I got there, and I didn't want to drink anymore, and I said, "I need something new to drink," and she gave me an A+ drink. She was like, "Well, what do you like?" And I said, "Can you make it like a Chinese scorpion bowl?" And she goes, "No." And I said, "Well, it's something like that." She goes, "I'll be back with something good for you." And she came back with something that was awesome, and I bought 7 of them, so that was good.
But that reminds me of like my wife and I always have this argument about like not really argument, but discussing about a really fine, like a nice restaurant. I'm like, really, the food doesn't like overall experience. Like, I guess you're in a nice restaurant, but the food doesn't really taste any better. And I'm like, if you ate I'm like, at the end of the day, the meal is better at Chipotle than any nice restaurant. You're gonna actually like this, just the taste of the food better at Chipotle. Well, I guess Chipotle would probably make you sick. You'd probably like throw up.
Well, I will say this: the restaurant that we went to, I got a steak, and the steak was the size of my foot.
Was
it
it
was
good?
like the biggest steak I ever had. It was great.
Okay. I find most of the time at like nice restaurants, the food is not really as good as like it's not really that much better.
You usually pay more and you get less.
Yeah.
And like, because I've seen the menu and I was like, oh, if we're ordering off the menu, I'm going to get the $39 steak because I want to see how fucking small this is going to be. And they brought it out and I was like, holy shit, that thing is huge.
Yeah, the argument my wife always goes back with the well, you just say that because you're cheap. And I'm like, no, I just don't think like that eating like nice restaurants are all the cracked up to be. And she's like, you're just saying that because you're cheap. And we go in that circle.
I consider myself semi cheap in certain areas, and like I don't like spending a lot of money when I go out to eat. But when I left this restaurant, I was like, I could go back here and spend $200 and I would not care, like, and have another meal like this because it was so good. And I normally don't ever. Normally, I'm just like,
Since Jay's going to murder us, we don't go to the questions soon. We'll go to the questions.
Oh,
then.
sorry, Jay. Jay's got to
Jay
work.
had that-
Jay's got to work Tuesday, so we got to get to the questions.
But you notice he was doing that He does that response when he doesn't really want to, like, he's like, I want you to move on to what we want to talk about now, okay? Get past
That's an interesting point you guys make, but I don't fucking care, and I just want to move along.
Jay, you know, like, I could drop $8 million there and fuck some boys there.
You know, the problem with this podcast is when 2 out of the 3 of us get going, the third person always like, can we just fucking move along here?
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm going to join ISIS. That's interesting.
Like, me and Mark will team up on Jay, or me and Jay will team up or whatever, and then it's like the third person's like, can we just get to the fucking questions here?
So he's like, there's 3,000 questions. I hate our fans. We get to go through them. Let's do them. Your steak, wonderful.
Hey,
that's interesting, Tubby. You like to have a big steak. Oh, that's good, yeah.
that's
nice.
Jay
Go
wants
eat
to
your
keep the
fucking
show
steak.
moving. Let's turn that into a 15-minute bit.
What?
Jay wants to keep the show moving. Let's turn that into a 15-minute bit. Email, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, when Mark wakes up in the morning, is the scene similar to that of the first 10 minutes of Coming to America? I propose a new Kickstarter to recreate the following scene. Picture a big Roman bath that seats about 10 people. Mark is sitting there, relaxed, and all you see is from the belly up. Next thing, some bubbles appear on the surface of the water, and a gorgeous-breasted black chick pops up and proclaims the Jewish penis has been cleaned, Your Highness, and Mark lets out a sigh of satisfaction. Jay, you can video edit this. We just need Mark's wife to sign off on getting his dick cleaned by a black chick.
I'd love to bang a black chick.
If we can raise the money, I'm sure she'll be. I'm not sure. Do you think she'll be more down for that or our trip to Australia?
She probably love both of those ideas.
Yeah, they're both like winning ideas. Like,
Yeah.
If we're going to go to Australia, we should go when those big music festivals are.
Bri. I want to move on, Bri. You know that.
Okay. That was just a timing question. I wasn't going to get into it. It was just a timing thing.
Yeah, you gotta like
No,
just
I
roll
wasn't.
with it, Jay.
I wasn't doing the thing. I was just. I didn't have anything else to add to that.
That was just a random.
Yeah.
Jay's like, oh great, we're gonna do the for the rest
I
of the
never
show.
saw Coming to America, so I'm not going to comment on the situation.
I thought it was pretty overrated.
It's a pretty funny movie. You should see it, Bri. Jay has no idea what he's talking about.
Lorenzo writes, hey guys, you're both only a couple years older than me, so we're on the same wavelength a lot of the time.
How come I never get included in it? It's always you two. It's never me.
For what?
Oh, the questions are always like, hey, you two guys are the same age as me.
Lorenzo, you should start including Bri.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
I'm on once a month.
You're actually on like 90% of the episodes because we only do like 2 episodes a month.
That's true. And I'm the same age as you guys, too, also. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I just went to a water park, slides, river rapids, wave pools today with the kids and saw a lot of things that raised questions. How do you feel about pregnant bitches wearing 2-piece swimsuits? I think it's fucking gross. Keep it covered up. Also, there was a lot of fake side boob action happening, which is fantastic. Thoughts on side boob? The flavor of the day seems to be a 1-piece swimsuit with the titties all mushed together and popping out the sides.
Wait,
just in
what's
case you were
fake
wondering.
side boob?
Not fake side boob. There are also a lot of fake.
No, what is it? Yeah, he said fake
Oh, yeah.
He
side
said
boob.
fake side boob, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't know what fake side
What
boob
is fake side? Like you paint the side of your bikini and
Well, no, I guess
Like
breast
like
implants.
it turns. You're like, that's a dude.
No, I guess women with breast implants with side boob.
I'm upside down.
Listen,
First of all,
there's
pregnant
nothing
chicks,
wrong with boobs on any level.
He's right
Fake
about
or real.
pregnant chicks should not wear 2 pieces.
I disagree. I have a thing for pregnant chicks, so they can wear whatever they want if I'm around.
Brian's taking the show to a new level
I
of awfulness.
really drank too much tonight. I should stop talking. Divulging way too much here.
Do you really have a thing for like? I know that's like that's a fetish. Dude,
Yes. I have the fetish. I hate kids, but I love pregnant chicks.
you're like, I just want her to go to term and then kill the kid.
Yeah, like
Do you watch pregnant porn?
I have. I don't.
Oh my god. There was actually I was listening to it's actually the Howard Stern show, and some guy called up and he was talking about how like he's like because of the internet and like the free market system of like porn, he's like, I didn't know I was into pregnant porn. Apparently that's what I'm into. He's just very like just matter of fact, like he's like, I didn't know that's what I am.
Getting back to the original question, Jay, because I know you don't like when we go off on tangents here.
No.
What was his complaint? Was his complaint about water parks or just people at water parks?
2-piece.
Are we gonna move on from Bry's like pregnant woman fantasy?
Andrew said Bry would get included in the questions if he didn't quit the show in episode 25.
Ooh.
Was it that long ago that I quit?
Yeah.
Andrew, were you even listening then?
He went back and he listened to every single episode from episode 1.
Oh.
I believe he compiled a list ranking all the episodes and never sent it to me.
Do you think, but Jay, if Brian never quit the show, would I be on the show, Jay? I don't know.
Probably not.
We probably would have lost that.
I don't know. Well, we had third person. It's not like it was just me and Bry.
Yeah, but you started
Hagen.
you started reaching out for more third people when Brian quit the show.
We started with 3 lot because we had Alex.
Joel was the original host, which I didn't
Joel?
realize. We had Billy. I'm not sure if we had Lauren and Leon, or that was.
Oh yeah, Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I had something in my throat.
So, Brian, have you ever had sex with a pregnant chick?
No. I guess technically, yeah, I did.
First of all, no one's technically pregnant. What?
Well, I had sex with my girlfriend who then had an abortion that I didn't know about. So I guess technically she was pregnant.
Well, I guess you weren't like if you didn't know she was pregnant, you weren't like
No,
"Oh,
she wasn't
suddenly
like
hotter.
That was
Yeah,
a fun
she
day in
wasn't,
the
like, that
apartment.
pregnant. It was only like a couple months.
That was a fun day in the apartment when she came over and told you that without consulting
that
you
was
first.
a great day. Remember that day?
Can we reenact that day? Hi, Bri. How you doing? I got news for you. Guess what?
When you went home for the weekend, I took my new boyfriend and we went and had an abortion. And can I have $150 to pay for it?
True story.
Oh my
That
god!
was literally the conversation.
Holy shit! I thought it was. I just assumed. Well, it was yours, right? Or would have been yours.
Who knows? She had like 3 affairs while they were
I
dating.
live my life on the assumption that it was mine because if it wasn't, that would make my life a lot more complicated.
Why?
Because I'd have to deal with a lot of stuff I didn't want to deal with.
What do you have to deal with if it wasn't yours? You just like some other dictum was in her. Like
Yeah, at
what's
the
the
same
difference?
time, Bri was.
Because I've beat myself up over it for all these time, and if it wasn't mine, then it would be a waste of all that.
You beat yourself up of like that could have been your kid. You could have had a kid, or you like. I feel like you don't even want a kid.
No, I don't want a kid, but I was just mad that I wasn't included in the. I was mad that I wasn't included in the decision, which I would have told her to do, and B, that I wasn't the one that took her there to do it.
Bri just
so when
likes to be
when she
asked.
told me that, I said, "Boy, that's the classic example of the new guy taking out the old guy's trash," which I thought was a great line.
You didn't tell me you said that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that was like my one good line, my good zinger that I got in our big
you
final
walk- did
fight.
Was that when
walk
she
out of-
started hitting you? Is that why?
Yeah, probably. Because I was like, wait a minute. Because she's like, oh, I went and had an abortion. You know, she was dancing around it. She didn't specifically say, but she's like, yeah, I went the other day and, got taken care of. And I was like, okay. And then the more I thought about it, I said, you can't go alone. You have to have somebody with you. And she goes, oh, yeah, I went with my new boyfriend. And I said, new boyfriend?
Did you know she had a new boyfriend?
Bri didn't know he wasn't the boyfriend.
I didn't really know we were broken up. I really didn't know we were broken up because she said we were taking a break, which is fine. And actually, one of her friends who lived in Connecticut, who I drove home for the holiday, like for break, she was like, "Oh yeah, so you guys broke up, huh?" And I was like, "We did? I didn't know that." And I was like,
How long are you guys together around?
like a little over a year."
Seemed like 5.5 years. She was
Yeah.
You
so
guys were
terrible.
together a year, and you didn't have like you didn't even know you guys broke up.
Well, she knew.
I mean, like, I guess she knew. Obviously, she knew.
we went on like she said she wanted to take a break like around Thanksgiving. So I was like, all right. So I didn't really talk to her for like Thanksgiving to the holidays. And then after the holidays is when all this happened. So yeah, she's like, oh yeah, no, I went, with so-and-so, my new boyfriend. And I paused for a minute and I just said, boy, well, that's the classic taking out the old guy's garbage.
That is an amazing line, actually. That you should almost do like, okay, I'm going to drop the mic on this one. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I mean, if I had been in any sort of like if I knew all that was coming and I like could have prepared for that and wasn't like emotionally destroyed by that, I would have been like, yeah, fuck you. That was my line. Get out.
Yeah, how much did that fuck you up?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad. Did you think you were like going to be with this girl for like long term?
Not. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, like at least enter the maybe like possibility.
I was counting the days until she was out of the door.
Not. Yes, and when you're with somebody, you always think it's going to be forever, but you start to rationalize things and look back on it, you're like, yeah, that was doomed from the start, kind of.
Yeah, that's
thing.
fair.
But
you're not like we just started dating, but we only have 6 months left.
At almost the same exact time, I had well, not the abortion part, but I had the same. We're taking a break and then not telling you when it's.
Yeah.
I had the same exact thing happen.
Was it the same girl?
No.
No.
That's rough there. So if it wasn't if it wasn't yours, wouldn't you feel a little better? Like she's just like, I guess like when you found out it was
Well,
that.
here's the problem. When she told me how many weeks it was, which I don't remember, when I counted back on the calendar, it was literally like it was the middle of summer, but it was literally the week I went to visit her at where she lived.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, well, we
How many
did
weeks-
have. What?
How many weeks along was she?
I don't remember. I wish I could remember, but I don't.
Like-
And
You know what? You might not even have gotten the truth anyway.
maybe not. But when I counted the weeks back on the calendar, it was literally the week I was out there. And I know that we had sex like 4 times while I was out there. But then I'm also thinking like, well, that as soon as I got on the fucking plane, she could have fucked half the airport.
Probably,
So who knows?
and probably did.
It's also like she tells you it's 18 weeks. You're like, wow, that's exactly when I was out there.
Yeah. But then it's like, yeah. So you count and you're like, okay, well that's reasonable because I was there. But if I wasn't, then that means like you slept with somebody like the day after I left.
But you have no proof it wasn't 17 weeks. She didn't check the calendar herself and count, so you'd be like, okay.
I really
with
have
it.
no proof she even ever did it, but I can't imagine she would lie about it.
It's not like you're like, wait a second, can I check the abortion?
Yeah.
The
I
log.
want to verify the weeks by looking at it, like the tree, like the rungs of a tree.
I remember though. I do remember like before because like it was around Thanksgiving when she was like we should take a break because it was finals and all that shit, and I was like all right fine, and then I remember she told me that she goes I failed a test and I said oh what a final and she goes no, and I was like oh and she's like well I haven't got my period in a while and I was like okay. And she didn't, and so I distinctly remember that. So I was just like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" She's like, whatever, it'll figure itself out." And then, like 4 weeks later, it was like, "Hey, can I have $150 because my boyfriend just took me to get an abortion?" So, who knows?
Would you on a different perspective here? If you start dating a girl and she's like, "Hey, for our second date, can you take me to get an abortion?" Dating her. That'd be a weird way to start your relationship with a girl.
Yeah, it would be.
You're like, I know dicks have been with you recently, probably, but this is like, I don't know, someone else's baby in you when we start dating. We're not heading toward the altar.
Yeah, apparently he didn't like me either for that. I was like, I don't even know who you are, but she's like, oh, he's really jealous of you. I'm like, well, probably because I knocked you up,
Yeah.
Or somebody did. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess I can see also you're not letting the person that like impregnated your current girlfriend. I can see that like a thing. If you're petty.
Mm.
Wow, how was this? This is college.
Yeah, college, senior year of college.
Yeah.
For you.
What?
For you.
For me, yeah. Year 2000.
Jay, next one. You want to move on?
Lorenzo wanted to know if there was the whole point of his email, was there any water parks by us or are they only West Coast or down south?
No, there's some around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's some.
You guys ever go to Action Park when you were kids?
No. I went to Splish Splash a bunch of times.
Mark, you ever go to Action Park?
I went there as like someone died there and they renamed it.
Yeah. I went there like probably 6 times. And I just remember like it being like as a kid, I was just like, wow, this is so cool. It's so fucking crazy. And then for like a year ago, I was like, I don't know, I was talking about it with a kid I grew up with, and I Googled it, and I was like, holy shit, people died here. They shut it down. Like it was like, what was that episode of The Simpsons, Jay, where went to the amusement park and everybody just kept getting hurt?
Oh, yeah.
It was just like that. Like it got shut down and people had died, and there was like all these like OSHA violations and everything. And I'm like, holy shit! I went there a bunch of times. I thought it was great. The only thing I hated was the water was cold.
I went there like after the name change, and I was like, oh, I thought someone had explained to me that it was the it's just Action Park we're going to, but the name change, someone died. I was like, oh, cool, let's go. But yeah, I don't know what I don't know what fake side boobage is.
Yeah,
I'm down for finding out though.
I'm pretty sure he means just side boob with breast implants.
Okay, that sounds
nothing
pretty
wrong
good
with
to me.
that.
I find generally, in any of these these water parks or whatever, you don't see people with necessarily the best bodies there.
No,
We went to like Sesame Place, which is
I
which
love
is also
Sesame Place.
you love
when
Sesame
I was a kid. When I was a kid.
Okay. Not now. You're not like, yeah, I saw Frozen as an adult. I go to Sesame Place as an adult without kids. I mean, that's what I do. But it's a Sesame Place. It's like part water park, and it's definitely some. No one should be allowed to wear a two-piece there, basically.
Lorenzo writes, how do you rate 2016? If it was a girl, would you bang it hard or just be good enough for a lazy hand job and nothing more?
I don't like hand jobs, so neither.
Do you really dislike hand jobs?
I could do that myself.
Yeah, but like if that's all that's being supplied, are you like against it?
Yeah, I kind of
did-
am.
Really?
Because the girls they don't know how I like it, so it's just annoying.
She's like, just like, honey, just use the sandpaper. I like the sandpaper.
Put on a glove. Yeah, put on a spiked glove. No, it's just I could do that. I'll take care of that. You just
Yeah, since I'm flexible, I can blow myself. I don't want that either.
I'm a fan of a good hand job.
I
said I'm a fan of a good hand job.
Yeah, no. To me, it's just I could do that myself. I don't. Just fucking blow me or keep your hands off.
I dated a girl who was like, she's like, oh, I thought like guys like when they get older, just there's something they just don't. She's like, they don't do anymore. You don't do like hand jobs anymore, and the guys don't jerk off anymore. And I was like, I'm kind of fine with hand jobs, and I'm like, guys don't jerk anymore. What planet are you living on?
I feel like I do it more now.
But I was like, I'm kind of fine with like as long as a girl's touching me, I don't care if it's I'm kind of like it's not my first choice, but
Yeah. Okay. Well, we all learned something today. I would say 2016 is either a lazy hand job or a toothy head.
But seriously though, aside from all the celebrities dying
and Donald Trump becoming president.
What was so bad about 2016?
On a personal level, 2016 was good. I mean, like
I had multiple surgeries.
Free.
Well, one of them is they were all free. Yeah.
they all were free.
Yeah.
You're
Celebrity. I mean, the thing about like everyone's like, "Ooh, these celebrities, they're all old." I mean, most of them.
Yeah, I mean, every year
people
there's
die
a
every
lot.
day. It's just a matter of
Every year there's a lot of
probability
celebrities
that like a famous person's going to die.
So I have a question about just the celebrities die. The celebrities die every year.
I don't think any of the celebrities that died, except for Gary Shandling, is probably the only celebrity that died in 2016 that pissed me off.
But like people die random ages. Like if you look back on like when celebrities died, like in the past, they all die at like 66, 55, 75. Like it's all random years. No one. They don't all live to the ripe old age of 90. So like it makes it. People are like, man, it's been a bad year for celebrities. It's not like the Rolling Stones got wiped out in a bus accident. Like
no.
But
honestly, of all the people that I think Gary Shandling is probably the only one where I was like, motherfucker. Like, I guess Carrie Fisher, but like everyone else, it's like I don't care. I don't like David Bowie. I don't like Prince. I don't care.
I like David Bowie, but Debbie Reynolds was like 85. Who I didn't even really realize who the hell she was. But
if you're over like 77 and you die, you die. It's not like, oh my god.
So
like,
we were.
Kirk Douglas just turned like 101, and he's gonna die, and everybody's gonna go crazy. He's 101.
So I've noticed this. Here's the guy. So we were at something for like my daughter's school, and someone mentioned that like their grandparent had died, but the grandparent was 96, and so she said what everyone said when someone's like 96-year-old and they die, so someone always describes it as going, but they lived a really good life, so everything is it's okay. I mean, like they lived a really good life. They always have to. At a certain age, you go from it's really sad to going to you have to talk about it. Going and say, well, they lived a really good life.
Yeah.
And what age is the crossover? At what age do we stop saying we mourn the death and it's like it's like oh they lived a good life? Like a 20-year-old, you never say they lived a good life. But at what age do you start discounting you you're too old to be alive at this point?
75.
So at 75, a 76-year-old dies. You can't when people ask you about it, you can't be like it's really sad.
Andrew said I walk away for 2 seconds and you come back hearing about how much you like hand jobs. What the fuck?
I'm reading a list of 2016 people that died. Let's see.
Andrew also said 2016 was awesome because I became the #1 Facebook super fan for Brink. That is true. You dethroned Steven.
If you
Like
work at
Muhammad
it.
Ali was like 70 and fucking had whatever he had. Who cares? Gordie Howe was like 85. Nobody cares.
Did you really know
Gene Wilder had what's it called? He didn't know who he was for the last 10 years.
I mean, even Carrie Fisher. Did you really know she was alive?
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I
'cause
saw her in Star Wars last year.
Yeah. Alan Thicke, that annoyed me, but it's not like Alan Thicke is on TV every night. Zsa Zsa Gabor was 99. Who cares?
Zsa Zsa Gabor. She lived a good life, so we can't really mourn her.
Yeah, she was 99. It's
Bry's Twitter is just like, this person died. Who cares?
yeah, shut up. I don't care.
Worst eulogy ever.
It's like, when Zsa Zsa Gabor died, I'm thinking of Hollywood Squares when I was little, and I'm trying to figure out who's still alive from there. Joan Rivers died. Zsa Zsa Gabor died. I think Jim J. Bullock is still alive.
Jim J. Bullock is the best.
I think he's still alive.
Charo?
I don't know what that is.
Wasn't
Isn't
she
that
like,
a snack?
Wasn't she like that's Churro?
Oh.
Wasn't
No,
Cha-
I know it's Charo. I
Charo
know
was
what
the
you're
big
talking
boobed
about.
Latina woman. She's still alive. She used to say like coochie coochie.
Yeah, I know who she is.
They should bring
think
back Hollywood Squares.
The
Yeah.
old school Hollywood Squares was the best.
Yeah, all just Jim J. Bullock. It's just him alone making jokes in the center square.
Him and 9 Squares.
Yeah. He just switches spots whenever you pick a spot.
I'll take Jim J. Bullock for the win. Jim J. Bullock for the block. Okay.
So Jay, when you had your tonsils taken out, it was free, or the insurance?
Well, I
just
mean,
covered
insurance covered it.
it? Okay.
Well, he wrote a bad Yelp review, probably, right?
Yeah, that's how I get everything.
Do you think they were like, okay, I guess the Yelp review is bad. We have to reinstall tonsils and take them back out from Jay.
I mean, I'm just my point is like, and it wasn't like a horrific year. I mean, yeah, it was because Trump won, but 2017 is going to be worse because Trump won.
That's true. He actually will have power in 2017.
Yeah.
We just have the thought that he has, like, we just have the possibility of having power this year.
We've just
Like-
been on this like 60-day like countdown to hell.
Right. On a personal level, was it a pretty good year for you?
It was any other year. I didn't do any. I lost a lot of money at the casino this year. That was actually, now that I think about it. But
How much
other
are you
than
down?
that,
How much are you down for the year?
oh, I don't know. More than I normally am. I got a blue
Well,
card, which is like third highest VIP status. So I must have lost a lot.
Like around how much are you down? Are you down like $500? Are you down like $5,000?
No, I'm probably down 10 grand.
Holy crap!
I would like to have
lost.
the kind of
I've
money
gone
to
there
lose.
at least 4 times and lost over 1,000. So I'm sure I'm down at least.
How much is your job paying you?
Not a lot, but I don't do anything else. The only thing I do is go to the casino. So,
Mm.
but I
Yeah,
got a VIP card, so I get free rooms all the time and free buffets and all this shit. So, I actually the week before Christmas, so I stayed for 3 days in a row. I had free room for 3 nights, so I was down there I took 3 days off and.
They treat you well. They're like, Bri, we know what you're into. Like here,
No,
like,
not. Oh,
no-
you guys want to hear? I'll tell you a story. You guys want to hear a story? I'm surprised
not?
I'm not allowed back there. Jay, we got time for a story or no?
Yeah, I have a feeling we're not getting to all the questions today.
Well, this is the night
we
before.
can lightning round the questions after this. Okay,
So-
right after Bri's story, we'll lightning around the questions.
You know what? It's
So-
not the end of the world if we do some of the questions next week.
Jay, just lightning
We're
round
not
the
working. We
questions.
got all night. What's the
Come on,
problem?
Jay. What if you're up for another half hour, Jay?
It's just
40
a quick
minutes.
2-minute story.
Go with the story.
So it's the night before Thanksgiving, and I had a free room at the casino. So I was like, I'm going to book it. I'm going to go down there. There was a giveaway that day. I don't remember what it was, some fucking frying pan or something. So I was like, well, I'll go down and get the frying pan. And we worked a half day at work, so we never had lunch. So I got out of work, came home for a little while, and then I went down. I have access to the VIP lounge where you get free drinks, and there's like a little spread of food. Never anything good, but there's like shrimp cocktail and some other shit. So I went down there. I had about 3 glasses of wine and had a couple plates of shrimp cocktail and maybe like a slice of ham or some shit. So I get out and I start gambling, and the waitress comes over. So I was like, fuck it, I'm drinking white wine. Let's drink white wine tonight. So every time she comes by, I must have had probably like 12 glasses of wine, and I didn't eat. So I'm playing at one table and I lost like $500. I go to another table, I lost like $300. I go to another table and I got like $500 back. And all the while I'm waiting for this one table to open. So the table finally opens. So I go over there, and I have no idea what time it is. I want to say it's like 11 o'clock. And there's this guy and his wife who I always see there, who I kind of know. I see him, I say hi to him. And I accidentally hit my wine glass and I spilled wine on the table. So they had to shut the table down, which was extremely embarrassing. Like, I felt like such a dick. I was like, oh, like I'm the asshole, whatever. So I'm like, fine, I'm already out like $1,000. I'm going to go back to my room. I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to get up and go to the buffet on Thanksgiving. So I go back to my room and I pass out, and I wake up and I puke all over the bed. Okay. So I'm like, oh fuck. So then I'm like still puking. So I'm like puking all the way to the bathroom. So I'm in the bathroom, and so then I jump in the shower, and I'm like, well, this sucks. It's probably like midnight. I don't even know what time it is. And I'm like, I can't fucking stay here tonight because I puked all over the bed, and it's gross. So I stayed in the shower for like 10 minutes, and by now I'm sober because, whatever. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm leaving. So I rush out of the bathroom, and I pack up all my stuff. I throw a $20 bill on the table because I trashed the room and I felt bad. That was the only money I had left. And I drive home, and I'm texting. Ironically, I was texting with the medium that night. And so she calls me. It's an hour drive from the casino.
Wait, you're texting with what?
The medium.
Oh, yeah.
Psychic woman. Yeah.
I hadn't talked to her in forever, and I don't know. I must have been drunk and texting or whatever. So it's an hour drive from my house to the casino. So I'm driving, and I'm tired, and I might be drunk. I'm not sure. So she calls me, and I was like, what do you want? And she was like, I have like a hands-free thing in my car. She's like, well, I'm calling you to keep you company so you don't die on the way home. And I was like, well, I could still talk to you and die. It's not a big deal. I could drive off the road, whatever. So we're talking. I get all the way home. I unpack my stuff. I can't find my wallet. I'm like, motherfucker, I must have left my wallet in my fucking room. Like, I am so pissed. I was like, I got to go. So I'm still on the phone with her. I'm like, I got to go because I lost my wallet. And she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to go fucking back and get my wallet because I trashed the room and I don't want my wallet in there. She's like, well, come pick me up and I'll ride in the car with you. And she lives like 10 minutes away, which is sort of on the way. So I'm like, fine. So I pick her up. It's about 1:30. It's like 1:45 in the morning. We're driving. We're talking. I'm like half asleep. Almost drove off the road about 4 times. We finally get to the casino. She goes, I'm waiting in the car. I'm in my pajamas. I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll run up to the room. I run up to the room. The room is worse than I imagined. Like, it's just like fucking, I'm like, oh, this is bad. I'm looking around the room. There's no fucking wallet there. But I found my shirt that I was wearing that I must have left on the side of the bathtub. So I'm like, okay, well, I got my shirt, but I don't have my fucking wallet. So I get back to the car, and I'm like, my wallet's not there. And she's like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to call security or lost and found? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it probably fell off my car because I left money there, and I knew that I had my wallet because that's where my money is. I go, whatever. I don't care. I don't have any money left, but I have my ID, so I don't care. So we drive all the way home again, and I almost fell asleep again like 3 times. Finally, I get home. I drop her off. I come home. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to go to bed. It's Thanksgiving. And I look in the back seat of my car, and underneath my seat is my chapstick, which I keep in my pocket where my wallet usually is. And I was like, well, that's interesting. That's my chapstick. So I must have had it in my pants pocket. So I'm like digging through my car, like through the seat. And finally I see like this little piece of green. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I grabbed it, and it was a $100 bill. I guess I still had $100 left. And I was like, oh, cool. All right, $100. And I'm looking, and I can still see there's something down there. So I start poking, and I'm like poking. Anyway, so I found my wallet. It was wedged between my car seat.
What a shit show.
So I wasted
how
two and a
long-
half hours driving for my wallet that was in my car the whole time.
I was getting tired listening to your drive. How long was the drive?
It's an hour each way.
Aye.
So I drove home, back, and home.
Is she gonna be on our show?
Yeah, she is. We talked about it, and I was sick last week, and she's been sick for the past few days. But she said whenever everybody's ready, she's ready to be on it. So
Oh, let's make this happen.
yeah, because that was like the one thing like we talked about for the hour. I was like, we got to go do this fucking show, and she's like, I will. She's like, just let me know when, and I said probably be in a couple weeks. And she's like, I just got to figure out like the logistics, like because if she's gonna be here, then I have to get a headset for her or something, but.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was an interesting casino experience. So then for because they charge you, they run your credit card when you go to like a hotel, like for incidentals. So I was afraid they were going to charge me for all the damages to the room, but they never did.
Nice.
Oh, good for you. That sounds. Jay, you want to lightning round the questions? Let's see how far we get.
It's an hour in, and we're not even through with emails.
Just finish the email. We'll lightning the
Sorry,
questions.
I'm drinking tonight. That's why.
Okay, go on.
That's fine. I mean, I think it's a good show. It's just
No, the show's been fine.
I just
we can
don't see
lighten,
us
we can,
reading
we can,
50 Facebook questions.
We can lightning the questions. I guarantee we're done with the questions in like as fast as you can take you to walk to the train.
Yeah, we don't have to expand on them.
Just like we lightning rounded the Knicks questions, right?
Yes. Just go, Jay. I'll read the questions then. You want me to read the questions instead?
It doesn't matter who
I
reads
have
the
to pee. You guys
questions.
can get through like 10 questions while I pee.
It's
Brian's
the
gonna go pee. Just go with the questions.
it's the
then.
literal tangents that we go on after each question. It's not the reading of the questions.
Okay. Well, we'll stop. We'll don't go on any tangents.
You realize we read that water park email like 40 minutes ago.
Just go on, Jay. Come on. We'll be done soon.
Even Lorenzo's like, come on, just answer my goddamn questions.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so Lorenzo writes, just some more water park chat. Here in Oz, there are 2 water slides in different parts of the country named the Perfect Storm and...
Is he sending these questions live, or like how does he keep asking questions about water parks?
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
The Perfect Storm and the Tornado, respectively. Scattered amongst the slides are various items such as rusted-out car shell, old shipping container, and other crap, making it like a storm has hit the area. What are your thoughts on theme parks using this to their advantage? Building a ride with storm in the title and dumping all their unused junk in that area. I think that's pretty crafty idea to not clean up.
Yeah, I like the idea. I don't know. I'm fine with it.
And Lorenzo sent us a joke. Why can't Stevie Wonder see his mates?
Why?
Because he's married.
Dun. That was pretty good.
Lorenzo writes, what if we start a Kickstarter to pay a hacker to hack into Twitter and get the original Brink of Sanity handle back? Surely that's low-level crime.
I'm back. Did you get through like 10 questions?
Well, we're on our 3rd email.
All right. Can I just say vodka and water is not a good combination?
I would, yeah.
Well, I was drinking vodka and Sprite, but in my little area, because I've been rambling so long, I ran out of Sprite, so all I had left was water with it within reach.
Yeah.
I told you the vodka Brita filter thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should give that a try. It's good stuff.
I splashed a little orange juice since I got up, so all right. I'll shut up. You guys could do questions.
So, yeah, I am all for paying a hacker to get the original Twitter handle back. I have tried.
How much did you pay a hacker?
$20.
Okay, that's not bad.
I mean,
20?
Yeah. Our Twitter handle really pisses me off. We're Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter, by the way.
I know.
Still, I know you know.
No, it doesn't matter if you had the real one or not, the original or not. No one's gonna really know it. We don't do anything with the account. Doesn't really matter.
I tweeted like 2
I
things
sent you
today.
something on Twitter yesterday, Jay, or the other day. I forgot what it was now. Something about Space Ghost is is streaming.
That was like 3 weeks ago, but yeah.
I think it was a couple days ago.
He's still coast to coast.
Yes. So thank you, Lorenzo. And I believe we have one last email.
That's it?
Well, no, this is just emails. Then we have like 60 Facebook questions.
Oh.
53 Facebook questions. You're exaggerating.
Hey guys, this is a scenario from work. Let's say your wife wants to go shopping for sex toys. You head to the shop and she says she wants a dildo. You don't know what to get, so you ask the shop assistant to show you the best seller. She takes you to a full stand of dildos called the Bry 3000. See, Bry, you are mentioning emails.
There you go.
Turns out Bry's been making them in the likeness of his cock for years, and they fly off the shelves. Your wife
They're
falls
small.
in love. Your wife
They're
falls.
small.
Your
Can't
wife,
imagine anybody buying them.
your wife falls in love instantly and says excitedly, "Ooh, I'll take it." Now every time you freak off in bed, Bry's cock will be there. What do you do?
Let's see. Bry's
would-
cock is going to be there for my lovemaking. What's
I
the
wouldn't
problem?
worry.
Let's just bring the podcast closer together.
It would just be another interesting moment in the podcast.
We should do an episode where all the significant others do the show instead of us.
That would be funny.
That would be. Do you think I would?
Except mine doesn't really know I do the show.
You know, it would just be like shit talking about us the entire time. They wouldn't do anything
they can't
else.
read any questions.
It would just be like, I can't believe they waste their time with this goddamn shit. Why are we doing? I wonder if I can get. I don't know if I can get my wife on. I feel like she might come on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if my girlfriend would want to do it either. I feel like the show would really just be them telling embarrassing stories about us to each other.
I don't think they'd get to embarrassing story. I think they would just be like complaining about the fact we do the show.
Well, does your wife know your girlfriend, Jay? I mean, does Mark's wife know your girlfriend?
Have they met? I feel like they have.
They've met. Trying to think.
It's obviously my girlfriend would just be like, "Who are you?"
Like yeah. When's the last time? I feel like you came over. You guys came over when I first had Zach. You guys both came over.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So they have. Met.
And I think before we had kids, like at least once or twice they'd met.
I think she showed up to like one of our dodgeball games. My girlfriend did.
Yeah. There's some point. Yeah, at some point they'd met before that. I know that wasn't the first time they met.
Yeah.
Okay. Facebook.
So yeah, it has happened before.
All right.
Okay. So thank you for the emails, Lorenzo. And now we have 1 billion Facebook questions.
We'll lighten you around it, Jay. I promise you, I will do minimal tangents.
Jason writes.
I won't pay attention. I'll just let you guys.
Jason writes, "What did you get for Christmas?"
My 2 front teeth.
All right.
I got a wine cooler, like a thing that holds wine bottles.
We stopped doing we don't do so instead of doing like Hanukkah gifts, I guess we do Hanukkah, not Christmas, but we do add birthday, Christmas, all them the holidays together, and we do something like we go away for like a night or two, or we just do something with something like an experience, do something instead of buying.
That's a
Seems like
tangent.
Yeah, this is a tangent. I don't know, like buying something like what do I need to what do I really need right now? I mean, I probably need stuff, but I
A hand job.
Yes, could you buy me a hand job, honey? Honey, could you buy me some pregnant porn? I'm really into it.
My dad got me a mini drone. It's a cheap one, so I'm not sure what it can do, but I'm looking forward to testing that out.
I was gonna get my dad a drone, but I was like, why the fuck? What the fuck would he ever use it for?
to look at side boob.
Yeah, I mean, he has a hot neighbor that has a pool. I figured he could just fly it over and watch her, but
Yeah.
after like an hour, she'd be like, I mean, she's stupid, but she'd probably be like, can you get that out of my yard?
Jason writes, please tell Mark we do not give a crap what he gave his Jew white privileged kids for Christmas. Do not spend the whole podcast saying how much he loves seeing their joy.
Is that a question?
My dad left for a pack of cigarettes and never came back.
The
Your
best
dad's crazy, by the way, Jay, huh? When
Yeah.
did he go crazy?
I don't know, a long time
I
ago.
always see his Facebook posts. He's kind of nuts lately.
It's a lot of rants.
Yeah.
I think the biggest hit gift we gave my kids was electric toothbrushes. They were obsessed. They were obsessed with them.
Nice. Jason writes, how much money has Mark contributed to Black
Are
African
you
American
reading your own
charities?
questions?
What
No.
did you say?
I'm not reading.
Or is there another Jason?
There's another Jason.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I'm new here.
Jason myself writes. Wait a sec. I don't understand this. There can't be two people with the name Jason. That's just not how life works.
Well, I mean, there's no listeners, so I didn't know there was a listener named Jason.
Our listeners have doubled in the last couple months.
Anyways, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Mark donating to black charities.
Oh.
All the time.
Jason writes, Jason the listener writes, guys, can I put my prescription glasses on my taxes?
Can you
on
what?
your taxes?
Prescription glasses on my taxes.
I'm following along actually on Facebook here.
No, you
I don't-
can't.
Jay, can you?
No.
I don't know.
Is there any way you could say it's
question?
part of your? It's like for a business purpose.
No, but you could put it towards your medical deductible.
What if
Yeah,
you're?
You have to. What is it like? 10% of your income?
Yeah,
for-
yeah. You have to have 10% of your
Yeah.
entire income as medical expenses to deduct it.
Jason, you better be fucking blind.
Yeah. How easy is it for a landlord to kick out a tenant in New York City?
I think it's pretty hard.
It's very, very, very
Especially if
hard.
they're white.
It's super hard.
Yeah, I think it takes a while. You have to. There's a whole process to it. Like you could stay a while without
You
paying
could
rent.
not pay rent for like 8 months.
Yeah, it's some crazy amount of time.
Eros, right? Mark said in the last episode, a lot of people in America have a house. Did he mean Jews? Dude, in this economy, you can't really think people own houses nowadays. Does Jason have a house? No, typical. Mark always tries to downplay his wealth, seeming to fit in with us blue-collar workers.
I didn't say the majority of Americans have houses.
Is that a question?
I don't know. It's questions or topics, and his topic
Jay,
is.
I think you should only read questions, and then we could breeze right through these.
It's questions or topics, and his topic was that
The Jews have all the money.
the Jews have all the money and no one has houses. A lot of people have houses. It's not the majority of Americans, maybe, but a lot of people own houses. I think we can all agree that a lot of people.
Well,
Or
they
you
keep
can-
building houses around me, so people must be buying them.
There seems like there are a lot of houses out there. In the suburbs, it seems like the suburbs are filled with houses, and people own those houses. So,
Just to save time, the next 4 questions are from Eros. I watched 4K child.
Eros the listener, or Eros the host?
I watched 4K childbirth videos. Holy crap! How does Mark have sex with his wife after witnessing that with all the fluids and feces and gunk that comes out during the process?
Why in God's name would you watch that in 4K? Holy shit!
Best
So-
4K is like HD.
Oh.
We're gonna have on one of Jay's friends whose wife is pregnant on the show soon, and he says he wants to look during childbirth, and I'm gonna spend the entire show telling him, whatever you do with the rest of your life, do not fucking look.
Ooh, a pregnant friend.
Bri, do you ever watch birthing videos and jerk off?
I've seen. No, I don't get off to. I've seen them.
They showed us a birthing
I like
video.
I like the home birth in the bathtub where it looks like they're taking a shit and then a kid pops out.
Oh God, the whole thing makes me like nauseous.
They showed us a birthing video in elementary school in like 3rd grade. And like, first of all, that's real. I never even saw a vagina before. And now I'm seeing that. Like,
I can't even.
Yeah,
think
if that's your first vagina, that's a bad.
that's way too early. And then they're like, do you have any questions? My hand immediately shot up. I'm like, is there any other way to have a kid? I wanted like nothing. I was like, you just scarred me from like sex, vaginas. Like, what are you trying to do here?
My question is, what the fuck's wrong with you, Teach?
Yeah, why would you show that to like a 6-year-old? I don't know how you'll 3rd grade. What are you, like 8, 9? That's too young.
Probably.
I think anything under 100 is too young to watch that shit.
Yeah, that's not good. Best way to get rid of a stuffy nose?
Those are much different questions.
A hot shower.
For like 2 hours.
Yeah.
For a short period of time, physical activity.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Use a neti pot. That'll help you. For
well,
like
if you
10 minutes.
do like some push-ups or something like that, and then like your nose clears for like a minute or just a couple minutes.
Try a neti
Is-
pot.
Try a what?
Neti pot?
It's
What
like
is
that
that?
teapot where you pour water in one
Yeah, you
nostril
pour
and
water
out the
up.
other.
You lean over,
yeah.
it goes one up. I've done it. It's not that bad.
Well, I noticed if you do anything, if you went like for a jog, you don't have a cold. You don't like your nose is not running while you're jogging. Or I don't know, whatever. Go on next question. Now that we
pla-
can't do tangents, the show's gonna suck.
Best
Go on.
place to buy a condo in New York City in terms of best bang for the buck, budget under $400,000. Mark, please don't laugh. I know your budget is 4 times that.
I don't understand how you could buy a fucking condo in New York. You're buying fucking a floor in a building.
Not only that,
Next topic.
your condo, you're paying security deposit, which is rent. So even once the apartment's paid off, like you're pretty much paying rent forever anyway.
Well, hang on.
The whole
First of all,
thing's
Bri doesn't understand how you can buy a portion of a building.
No, I would never. There's certain things in life I don't understand, and that is one of them.
Yeah, I don't understand what Bri doesn't understand there. Jay,
No, I think Bright doesn't understand why you would do that.
no, but he acts like he doesn't understand the concept of doing it.
No, I don't understand the concept of it.
See,
like,
he
if you buy a house, you buy a house, you buy property. You buy an apartment, you're buying a floor in a building.
Yeah, that's what you're buying. That's what you want because you're
Why
living
would
a
you want that?
You live in a city that's what's available. That's what you buy.
I
You
don't
wanna live in New
understand
York
why you
City.
would want to buy a floor in a building.
So you could say I live in the city.
I don't know. Donald Trump, our president, owns floors of buildings and buildings also. I don't. That's what you do. If you want to live in New York City, if you don't, then that's fine. But if you want to live in New York City, that's what you do.
I agree with Brian. It's stupid.
It doesn't.
I don't. It's stupid if you live in the suburbs and you do that. We've known people who have like bought like apartments in the suburbs, and that's like idiotic.
Because when somebody says I live in an apartment, the first thing it says, okay, well you rent. Like I don't understand how you can own an apartment.
It's stupid. I would never do it. I mean, my goal is to get the CPA so I can get a house. Like I want nothing to do with apartments anymore.
Well, some people like living. I can understand that some people like living in the city.
No, I understand renting an apartment. That's one thing. I don't understand how you can I don't understand the legalities of buying an apartment. Like, what are you buying? You're not buying. You're buying a floor in a building.
Buying a floor in a building. That's what you're buying.
But it doesn't even get you anything for $500,000 or whatever it costs.
If you have millions of dollars, it gets you something in New York City, I guess. But
Well, it doesn't get you anything. You don't even get a parking space.
Anyway,
we could
Jay,
go on and on about this.
yeah,
Forever.
I'm not going to turn this into a tangent.
It's too
Jay,
late.
it's too late. Jay, what didn't you understand about this? What's the security deposit part? If you buy a condo, you're not putting down a security deposit.
What's the difference between a condo and an apartment in New York City?
Not security.
A condo and a co-op are just ownership rights. A co-op, you're buying shares of a building, of the corporation that owns the building, and a condo, you're actually buying the apartment.
I'm not talking about. I misspoke.
Like, I
when
live in a
said security
condo.
Deposit.
But I have my own. It's my own building.
Because you're always paying rent. If you live I live in a house. I pay taxes. No matter what. The mortgage is gone eventually. You're paying taxes. You're always paying
Right.
rent.
I understand that.
Not security deposit. What is it? When you buy a condo, you have to pay something like every month anyway.
Condo fees.
Yeah, but that
Association.
includes. But those include your taxes.
But the condo in New York is still an apartment in New York. It's still like a floor. Like, I don't understand the
Right.
difference.
You just don't understand the concept of New York City.
No, I don't. I don't understand why
that's-
anybody would ever, in their right mind, go to New York City for more than 5 hours.
That's fine.
Let alone live there.
Apparently, 9 million people think it's a good idea, and a small percentage of them actually own their place.
But
It
they
is-
don't own anything.
Okay, Jay, go to the next question.
You don't want to argue about this for another half hour?
I don't. I really don't. We've had this discussion on the show before.
I
It's not
know.
going to go anywhere. I don't. It's fine. Bry does not understand. He doesn't live in New York
I don't
City.
understand
You
city
don't have
life.
to live in New York
I just
City.
don't. I'll
It's
never.
fine. Don't live in New York City.
I don't ever plan to even go to New York City.
Ron writes, Mark went to Cornell. How did he pay that off? And why is Jason poor compared to Mark? Both of you guys seem the same in terms of intelligence. I just realized last episode you were wearing a Cornell shirt and I was wearing a Northeastern shirt.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
Have
kind
you
of
been
weird.
to Northeastern lately, Jay? Have you seen what it looks like these days?
I haven't been in about 5 years.
There's a lot going on there.
I went to a New York City Northeastern networking event last month. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I ran into a bunch of people there.
Brian, Jay met a video editor.
That's right. I did hear that story.
We did it on the show. You were on the show. We talked.
Yeah,
about
I was on for that one.
Oh, yeah.
But I went to Northeastern last summer. So we were in Boston for the day, and we went down there. It's just a lot different.
I kind of even forget half the time that we're doing the video thing, even though we're doing the video thing. That's pretty random. We both watch. First of all, I barely wear my college sweatshirt. And the fact that we did it, that's random. That's one of those moments in life, Jay.
And
But I live in New York State, so when I went to Cornell, there's a state portion of it where you pay lower tuition than the private part, so that helped.
And also, Mark,
Isn't Cornell Where's Cornell?
In Ithaca, in upstate.
I was thinking it was in New Jersey.
I almost went
Because
to
I'm
Ithaca.
fucking stupid.
Ithaca was. I was like flipping a coin between Ithaca and Northeastern.
Made the right choice, Jay.
You would not have known Brian, and then we wouldn't
That's
have this
right.
podcast. So we wouldn't be where we are in life, Jay.
Yeah,
Seriously, the day before I went to Northeastern, I got a letter in the mail that they changed my room from one side of the floor to the other.
Oh wow.
And I would have been in Miguel the RA's room. I think they switched like the RA's room would have been my room, and I would have been over there.
I would have been so fucked if the RA was
Yeah,
next to me.
because I would have, I never would have, I would have hated Jay, and I would never have been friends with Jay because all the sports guys were on that side of the floor.
Yeah.
And I would have just hung out with them all the time and been like, these fucking assholes never shut up over here. But it switched, and Jay was next, and I hated my roommate, and we hated Jay's roommate, and
Yeah, we bonded over that.
it was quite a scene.
Yeah.
We'll be producing the whole story in our documentary about Jay and Bri going to college together.
As far as why Mark has more money, one, he didn't switch careers at the age of 30. And
What was your previous career?
trying to be a film editor and failing.
Jay went from temp to wannabe accountant.
Did you do it till age 30?
Yeah. Well,
I didn't know you did film. I didn't really. Bri, did you know Jay gave film editing like a real shot?
No. No. I thought Jay was a temp somewhere.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
temping while I was trying to be a film editor. And I didn't accept a full-time job to give me the flexibility to do all these independent films, one of which actually I did.
How many independent? Wait, you actually edited an independent film?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm just finding out about this.
Yeah, I have movie credits.
What was the movie about?
It's called Bird's Eye View. It's about like a government conspiracy trying to cover up aliens.
What a surprise.
Do you? I assume you didn't write the movie. Did you write the movie also, or
No.
okay? So someone else had the idea, and you basically just did all the editing for them, like what a film editor would do, I guess.
I actually came on late, so I just did like finishing touches and like.
Jay did the credits.
Well, I mean,
What else did you? I thought you didn't really have any experience film editing. You had some experience.
Yeah.
Well, in college, he film edited all the PSAs that I was involved in.
Oh my God, Mark! Did I ever show you the road rage PSA we did?
No, I don't think so.
There's a couple good ones with me in there. I was Jay's talent for his video editing, video something class.
I'll send you the link to it.
Okay, send me the link.
Yeah, it's
That was fun.
yeah.
Could you post the link into the Brink group also?
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Why
was
not?
a fun video.
You know what?
Road rage.
I'll just upload all those videos to YouTube and I'll post the link. I'll post the link
Yeah.
in the Facebook group.
You might as well like post it to our we might as well not hide the stuff from our fan.
Yeah, I'll put up all that stuff because Bri was also Don from Don's Home Furniture. That was awesome.
I love that one.
What was the day you gave up on film editing? What was the day like you're like this is just not going to work out?
I think the day I hit 25 grand in credit card debt and
Ugh.
didn't have a full-time job, and I was like, I need to like stop. Yeah,
Hey, we're off on a tangent here. Let's get back to the question.
we are an
The
hour.
tangent's not about me, so let's get back to the question.
An hour and 17 minutes, and we got through 5 Facebook questions.
Oh, come on. We could make this a
Fast, we can
couple of
make this happen,
episodes.
Jay.
Why is Jason living in a cramped, cockroach-infested New York City apartment and Mark living in a beautiful house with green trees and an organic vegetable garden? What should Jason do wrong? Was it school or job choice?
He didn't get married.
Yeah, also Mark married somebody who was successful. So that helps too.
Does your wife work, Mark?
Yeah, she works.
What's she do?
She's a lawyer.
Oh.
Best things to major on today besides medical degrees and accounting?
Today?
Yeah.
You should
Criminal
major.
justice.
Really? You should major in hedge fund starting.
I would say computer programming.
Yeah, computer programming seems like it'd be an important one.
Criminal justice, but all this fucking nonsense.
Do you think you're gonna get paid well as a criminal justice?
I got a degree in criminal justice 2 years too early.
What would your life have turned out if you got in at the right time?
Well, I graduated in 2000.
Yeah.
Forensic, all that forensic CSI bullshit was like just starting
Yeah.
at that point, and then obviously 9/11 was 2001. So like if I was a criminal justice major that graduated like 2002 or 3, I would have a lot more like CSI, DNA, like there'd be more courses and stuff available to that where I think you'd have more chance to do that kind of thing.
I was a criminal justice major for 6
There's
years.
not a lot of jobs in criminal justice unless you want to be a cop or be in the army, but I think at least back then, I think there's a little bit more availability now.
When I think about criminal justice, I just think about being a cop. Like I don't like. What else do you like? A cop or I don't know. What, I guess go to law school from it. But what do you?
Well, I mean, you know, there's like Homeland Security and border patrol. But the problem is a lot of that shit needs either a military or police background to start. But I think there's probably a little bit more opening now than there was like when I started.
We had terrible guidance in our school.
Because basically, like when I was majoring in criminal justice, there was just everything was like you got to be a cop, and then you could do whatever you want. And it's like I don't want to be I don't want to be a cop, and I don't want to be in the military.
Jay, were you also criminal justice?
For like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I feel like why did you do criminal justice if you didn't want to be like I didn't have to be a cop the rest of your life, but it seems like it would be helpful to like make detective and like.
Well, I went to the first criminal justice class, and they said, I'm like, what are my job options? They said cop or lawyer, and I said, okay, I guess I'm not a criminal justice major anymore.
There's a lot. I mean, like I took the test to be in the Secret Service. And I got a 96 on it, but they threw me out because I was honest about my drug past, which was only mushrooms. They threw me out.
All those years you wouldn't smoke pot with me, and
then I was honest about it instead of lying because I figured it would just come out later. I took the test, and they showed me the test, and I had a 96 on it, and I probably know like the 2 or 3 questions I got wrong. The hardest 2 questions on the test that I took were affect, effect, and like there was like a 2 sentences where you had to use affect and effect correctly, and there was another one with like 2 similar words like that, and I was like, this is fucking easy. This is fucking stupid.
So like they're like, if you understand the difference between effect and affect, you can protect the president.
But no, this was like this wasn't the protect the president part of the Secret Service. It was like the other part, which was basically like protect like the buildings and it wasn't presidential like security detail, but it was like the uniform officer division, which was like because they guard like all the federal buildings or something. So you just sit out there.
In an alternate reality, Jay is a successful film editor, and you work for the Secret Service protecting the president.
Correct, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that good on the test.
Yeah, oh my God, it was so fucking easy. I'm going through this, and I'm like, I can't believe how easy this is. And then, we passed it out, and then they would call you by name to come out. And the guy called me, and I was like, I ran out there, and I could see the test that said 96 on it. And I was like, he's like, oh, you did really well on the test. And I was like, all right, well, so what do we go from here? And he goes, unfortunately, we have to dismiss you. And I go, why? And he goes, because of your drug profile or whatever. And I was, drug profile? What the fuck are you talking about?
So, like, the question you're supposed to say no to?
Yeah. He's like, you could try again in like 2 years or something. And I was like, oh, fuck that.
They're like, we don't even care that you did drugs. We care that you're dumb enough to answer yes.
It's like the president is a fucking admitted cocaine head, and I took mushrooms 3 times. And
I know, that's so ridiculous. Like it's not even like you were popping them all the time. It was like
I took them 3 times.
It's
been like years since I had done them.
Yeah. Is it like in the past? Is it drugs within the past 2 years, or like how do they ask it?
I don't know. I was in such shock that I just like walked out, and I was like muttering to myself the whole way home. So like 2 hours later, I went back to where the test was, and I saw one of the guys, and I was just like, how long do I have to wait? And he was like, oh, you got to wait till it's been 3 years since you've done anything. And it had already been a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like years. And then I never saw anything about the test coming around again. So I was like, you fucking idiot. There's all these douchebags in the test, too. They're also fucking, I can just tell by looking at them, they're also fucking dumb.
I remember when that happened. You like lost your mind for a while.
Oh, I was so mad. I'm like, this is a joke. This is like, this test is so fucking easy. Although I probably would have failed like the physical fitness part of it, but it was just so fucking easy. Like I couldn't get over it.
Well, I'm glad we're not going on tangents.
Yeah.
I stopped talking because I figured Jay wanted to move on.
No, you know what? I don't want you guys to feel like you shouldn't go on tangents because that's what makes the show good. And that's why we get questions. If we gave one-word answers, then there would be no point in asking the questions. At
some point, Jay, do you want to stop and we can like make this a 2-parter?
Yeah. I think we should go for like up to an hour and a half, and then.
Because I got all night. I don't know if you guys.
I could do for at least another half hour, but then I got to call it a night.
The problem is I have to get up in the morning and spend like 4 hours studying for the CPA. So.
What time do you have to wake up?
Well, the thing is, I got tickets to go see Rogue One in the afternoon, so I have to get my 4 hours studying in before like
see
1
Rogue
p.m.
One. I don't care what you do. Go see Rogue One, and then let's do a podcast tomorrow night and talk about it because it's such a fucking good movie.
Exactly. So I have to leave by like 1 to get there, so that means I have to get up by like 9 to study.
Okay, so let's finish up. Let's try to do another 20 minutes and call it a night.
You want to stop now, and we could start a new one for like a half hour?
Let's do like 10 more minutes.
All right. I'm warning you right now, Jay. Rogue One is going to be in your top 3 Star Wars movies.
Nice. Good. I'm excited. Name a time you guys got fired from a job and why.
Oh,
All right, here's our 10 minutes. I've gotten fired from a lot of jobs, so we can just pick one.
go for it.
I think I already told the one where they didn't tell me how the time cards worked at the job. I told you about the one where I got fired from the restaurant that Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block sister owned.
No.
So I actually changed the 20 for Jordan Knight like 5 minutes before I got fired too. The manager was insane. It was a normal. It was I did everything like by the book. Basically, you take somebody's order, you put in the appetizer's order, you wait 10 minutes, you put in the dinner order. But my first night working there, they gave me like a table of 12 people. I did exactly that, and everyone's just bullshitting and just picking at their food. So like 40 minutes later, their appetizers aren't done, and the main course is ready. So I start bringing the plates over because if you leave them up there, it goes bad. And then you get in trouble. And then so the manager runs over. She's like, "Why are you bringing that over?" I'm like, "Because it's been 40 minutes and their food's ready." And she's like, "Well, you can't bring the food over before the appetizers are done. You're fired." Like that quickly. So I just grabbed my coat and left.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard she fired people like weekly.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So Jordan Knight's sister is a huge bitch. You guys have any firing stories?
I got a good one.
Okay.
I used to work 10 years ago. I used to work at the Connecticut in Hartford. It was called the Meadows Music Theater. It's now called Xfinity Music Theater. It's where all the concerts come. It's the amphitheater. And my friend Matt and I worked there for a couple of years. And this last year that we worked there, we got promoted to alcohol compliance officers. So basically our job was to just walk around. Anybody who had a beer who didn't have a wristband, we had to stop them and card them. And if they were under 21, take their beer, pour them out. If they were 21, put a wristband on them. So basically all we did was walk around and go up to chicks who had beers and get their names because we'd look at their IDs or whatever. And we would drink heavily before the show. And just like totally like we used to go up to girls and be like, "Hey, if you show us your tits, we'll get you into the lower level seats. We'll just walk you right in." So that happened several times, and that's not why we got fired. Later at the end of the year, they were going to have we were at a show on a Saturday, and they were going to have our employee party the next day on Sunday. Where basically they open up the amphitheater to us and we come in and we could, they were going to serve us food and drinks and we just hang around, and there was like a couple local bands that were going to play, and it was just going to be a party. And there was a weather report that it was going to rain the next day, and this was like the end of August, probably like a week before Labor Day, and they said, the party's tomorrow, but it might rain, and if we cancel it, it won't be for like 2 weeks. And this was going to go into September. And everybody who worked there basically was in college. So everybody would have been gone away to college. So it wouldn't have been as fun. So most of us, probably 2/3 of us were like, fuck it. Let's just have it tomorrow. Who cares if it's going to rain? We're going to be indoors anyway. And they're like, well, enough people said that they don't want to have it tomorrow. So we're not going to have it tomorrow. So they canceled it. So we said to everybody who voted to come tomorrow said, we're coming down tomorrow. We're just going to have a party. Fuck it. Who cares? We'll just do it in the parking lot. So the next day we come out. We went out into the parking lot and we had this huge party. It was like 20 people. We had beers, everything going on. This guy who was the manager who was there showed up. So he led us into the arena. and he came out with golf carts. So we were riding around in golf carts in the parking lot and everything. And all these people who didn't know the party was canceled showed up. So it was like 30 of us. It never rained, never once rained, right? So we were in this parking lot that's in a building next to where the arena is. It's like a private parking lot. So the owner came by of the Meadows, the music theater, and he saw us all there, and he's like, what are those guys doing out there? And we were just like, we're having our party, we're just going to do it without you. We don't need you. So he called the guy who owned the building where we were parked to come down and throw us out. So the guy comes down and he's like, oh yeah, Randy called me and he wants you to, he wants me. He's like, I don't give a shit what you guys do, but I got to come down and make it look like, official, whatever. So he's like, you guys got to move. So we moved to this other parking lot. So there was a huge fence, and we had like all this, we had a bunch of like rolls of tape. So we wrote F the Meadows across this whole fence that faces the Meadows. The faces where the arena was. So the owner, the guy who called the other guy, this guy Randy, saw that, and he said, whoever's over there is fired. So somebody came out who we knew, like a plant kind of, and was like, hey, they came out to like, hang out. It was like, oh, you guys, you can't stay here. You got to take all that down, blah, blah, whatever. So like whoever, this one person came out and like took all of our names. Not literally took our names, but knew who we all were. So he's like, you guys got to leave. You can't stay here. So 2 days later, we get a call. My friend Matt gets a call, and he goes, you're fired, and your buddy Brian is fired too. So Matt calls me, and he goes, yeah, we both got fired. So they never actually called me to tell me that we got fired, but we got fired for partying on the lot against the law, against the rules, I guess. And so then the 2 weeks later, when they had the actual employee party, like 15 people showed up. Like we had more people at our party, and it was totally lame. So we got fired for we weren't on the clock, we weren't on their property, and we weren't doing anything except for drinking.
I remember seeing the pictures of the.
Yeah. The pictures are great. We had so much fun. Because that guy came out, this other guy, Matt, there was like 3 Matts there, and he came out and we got the golf carts out. We were tooling around the parking lot, doing wheelies and shit on the golf carts, and we had so much fun. It was worth getting fired. I was going to play dumb because they never physically called me, so I was going to show up for all the shows and be like, hey, I'm here to work. Nobody told me I was fired. What are you talking about? I'm fired. Let's see if I can find those pictures.
Do you have any getting fired stories, Mark?
No, I've never really been fired. I've been
that's the only job I've ever been fired from.
I've been a shitty employee, but I've never had like I was a camp counselor once. I was actually fine camp counselor, but there was one occasion where I wasn't with my group, and I was playing Connect 4 instead, and I wasn't asked back for the next summer. So it's kind of like you should have been asked back. So I was kind of fired, but I wasn't really fired.
I told you I got a video editing job to film this like jazz duo, and so I filmed their entire concert, and then I got home and my video camera was blank. The tape somehow got erased while I was on the subway.
That's like when we went to Mexico, Jay, and we recorded ourselves. We were going to do the radio show. That we didn't record anything.
No, we did record, but we hit. All right, so Bri won tickets to Cancun for a week, and they let us do a bit for their. It was like a real radio station. They let us do a bit for it, so they gave us like mobile recording devices. 5 minutes into us recording, we both have to piss. So I hit pause on the recording thing while we're pissing, and we come back out and we said, how do we start it up again? And the guy's like, oh, you can't start it up again. Like once it's stopped, like that's it. And so we like lost our opportunity to have like our bit on the radio.
Oh man.
I was like, you could have told us that. I didn't want to like, I would have recorded us pissing if that was the only option.
So your video editing like career / radio career was basically just a series of unfortunate events.
Yes. It's very traumatic, yes.
Yeah. Is this the end of the show?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm losing steam anyway.
I'm ready to go. I could go all night.
So we will get, before people write a bunch of angry messages, we will get to the rest of the questions next episode.
Yes. We do appreciate the questions. We should have just done a listener mailbag episode, but we didn't.
I just poured another drink.
Well, next time we'll do just a listener mailbag. We'll just go to the questions and finish.
Give me the questions. I'll just do a whole show. Just record me talking.
I'll just go to bed and leave it recording. Just be Bri just like cursing by himself.
It's a 17-hour episode with 16 of the hours Bri just sleeping.
No, I wake up in the morning to study for my CPA, and Bri's like still ranting about shit.
I don't sleep. I'll be up all night. I don't care.
Bri's like, I'm on question 8.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back next week. Bri, you want to help us finish the questions next week?
Yeah, I'll finish them tonight if you want.
Sorry, I can't.
Should we? When's your CPA exam?
Next Monday?
Okay, so we should do it after your CPA exam.
Yes.
Are we doing?
We're
The
not
next
doing
Nick
it
show-
the night
next
bef-
Nick-
We're
hang
not
on, the
doing
next-
one the night before the CPA. No,
Yeah, when do you want to do it?
we can do it the night after the CPA. We can do it that Monday.
Okay. What time's the CPA exam?
I don't know. I think I scheduled for like around noon,
Oh,
so I
okay,
could sleep in like a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it Monday night. I was like, it'd be insane if you did it the night before.
Yeah, no.
So you'll be insanely angry or insanely happy, depending. When do you find out if you pass?
like 3 weeks after.
Okay.
So I'm already going to be.
What number
studying for
test is this now?
Well, it's not. It doesn't go in order. I'm just taking a different part from the.
I mean, how many have you taken?
one, and I bombed it. But then I bought that like intense online class. So hopefully that helps.
What happens if you don't pass this one? I mean, I know nothing actually happens. Like, not that you don't lose your job.
Jay gets doomed to hosting a podcast for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I'm going to be really grumpy for a really long time if I don't pass this one.
I guess if you don't pass this one, are you going to still take them, or is this it?
I am, but if I fail 3 in a row, I may have to like seriously.
What day are you taking it? The 8th?
Monday the 9th. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully I start passing these.
Yeah, I feel like this one you said is not the hardest one. You already took the hardest one, so.
Yeah, but this one's really hard. It's bad. Anyway, it's basically the 5 hardest grad school classes I took all rolled up into one test.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do that. Bri, are you excited? Would you want to do this also?
What's that?
CPA.
Bri, would you rather have to take the CPA exam or have to pass all the CPA exams or be attracted to young boys?
I'd rather just do the podcast till like 6 in the morning.
Bri really wants to keep going.
Yeah, he
I
really
just
does.
poured a drink. I'm ready to go.
Sorry, Bri.
You bastard.
I can't. do it.
Eros, by the way, writes, guys, slow start, but I was picking up props to Bri for being hardcore, ready to go all night.
That's right.
The way it should be.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back in about
This is just a trick. This is just the end of the first show.
8 days, so we can we'll do my post CPA episode.
Yes, where Jay will either be it either be celebratory,
Celebratory.
blah blah blah. Okay, I'm done.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end.